which brings us to our next issue, assumption of risk and wearing a red shirt. Because when you think back to the original series, of the 59 deaths that we saw over the first 3 seasons, a total of 43 red shirts died on away missions. That's a 70% fatality rate. The only thing higher would be being the commanding officer of the Battlestar Pegasus and Battlestar Galactica, where they lost 3 out of 4 commanders, and that's really high at 75%. And of course, being a mom in a Disney movie, especially a mom in a red shirt in a Disney movie.
Dressed as a deer.
Yeah, she's say goodbye. We'll take questions at the end, but yes, we do want questions, so stay tuned. So with that, let's talk about, you joined Starfleet at the time of Kirk and Spock, and you're in engineering or security. Let's talk about being a red shirt.
Not a good place to be. You could be turned into a mineral cube and stepped on. You can be vaporized, step on an exploding rock. It's a highly dangerous job. In the law, we have something that's called assumption of the risk, where the courts have determined that there are certain activities that are just inherently dangerous. And you know that there is a risk of being injured. It's an obvious risk. So for instance, if you go skiing and somebody kind of cuts you off and you break your leg, you can't sue them because it's an assumption of the risk. Skiing is inherently dangerous. So's being a red shirt. With that kind of death rate, it's clear that if you put on a red shirt in the original away mission and you go down, you have assumed the risk that you are going to die. You don't get to turn around and sue Kirk for that. Other places that this happens, there's falling into a fire at Burning Man, for instance, is an assumption of the risk because approaching a fire, you know it's dangerous, you know there's a risk of falling in.
Being a fireman, being a paramedic, lots of careers that are inherently dangerous.
As the guy wearing a red shirt on the panel, I just want to make clear that I believe there is an exception if your name was in the credits. Then I think you're safe. We'll see.
The Scotty Clause.